have 61 seniors graduating with our class this year from the Liberal Arts Academy. All of you all have fulfilled the high expectations of our students, and I'm very pleased to recognize all of your achievements this evening. So we have our Academy graduates. They are headed to 33 different colleges and universities across the United States this coming year. And it ranges from small liberal arts colleges to large public universities. No matter where you all are headed this coming fall, I'm very proud of what you all have accomplished in your 4 years here at Henry Clay. Your exposure to a strong liberal arts background will be a benefit to you as you continue your studies, whether your intended major is world language, social science, pre-med, engineering, or the arts. The Academy Medallion is an honor awarded to our students to recognize your hard work and commitment to excellence. You'll receive the medallion this evening and wear it to graduation next week. All of you met the high standards of the Academy every year, which included taking the most rigorous classes available and contributing back to your community. You all have all worked hard to be here tonight, all right? You've been major leaders and contributors to Henry Clay for 4 years. Whether you held a leadership position or whether you led by example, each of you has been a positive force in the building and within our school community, and we will miss you all next year. It's been my pleasure to work with you all for the past 3 years. You all warmly embraced me when I took over the job 3 years ago, and I didn't see you for a year, given our Academy format at the time. And it's been a pleasure to get to know you all over that time, and I've really enjoyed working with you all this year on all of your mentoring projects. So, I wish you all the best of luck as you continue on next year, and we will now move on, and I'm very happy to introduce our principal, Mr. Paul Little.
I thought I made this font big enough so that I wouldn't need these readers. I think I've done it. I took some notes. I'm sort of embarrassed, but not really. I bought these 2 weeks ago, and there's duct tape in 3 spots, crazy glue in 1, and a rubber band around the nose guard. And I don't know if y'all know Miss Harrison. She's the person that really runs Henry Clay High School. She keeps begging me to go back to Walmart and trade them in, but I've gotten attached to them. So, and I'm not one to just throw in the towel on something. They're part of me now. So, but I think I can read my notes here. First, I want to thank parents. I want to thank you for being here, not just tonight, but for every night that you've been with these young folks, the wonderful job you've done raising such a great group of young people. Boys and girls, applaud you, your moms, your dads, grannies, papas, guardians. I have been in this business 23 years, and it may be cliche, but it starts at home and it continues at home, and I appreciate all your efforts as being good providers and nurturers for these wonderful boys and girls, young men and women. Thank you for sharing them with us, their talents, their intelligence, their senses of humor. It's been great, and I want to thank you guys. Because as you know, this is just my first year as head principal, so the first three years you're here, I was mostly dealing with discipline issues, and I don't see anyone, I don't believe, that I ever had to call in my office for a discipline referral. That's huge, and we appreciate it, so thank you. It's very important. Thank you for trusting the faculty and staff to guide them and to educate them and prepare them for the next phase of life. I have 3 children in school, and I know what it means to extend that trust. It's important, and I appreciate that. Boys and girls, you've represented yourselves, your families, and this school at the highest level, and we do appreciate that, because nowadays I don't know how as a teenager that you can differentiate almost right from wrong, good from bad. You know, half the news nowadays you have to. Even if you look it up, you don't even know if what you're looking at once you look it up is right or wrong. But somehow or another, with cell phones and all the technology, you guys have managed to be strong academically, socially, as good citizens. And honestly, I'm, as a product of the 60s and 70s with 4 channels of TV, no idea what a cell phone was or was going to become. I don't know how you do it, so thank you. You've done a great job. I appreciate the liberal arts education. I attended Transylvania University back in the early 80s, so I have, like you, received an education in liberal arts, and I will always appreciate it. It was four of the finest years of my life. I wish I had a chance to take some of those classes over, because I was a young man from Hazard, and I was a little bit awestruck with the big city of Lexington. So didn't maybe take some of the classes as seriously as I should have. I would love to take my art history class over. Now that I'm older, I have a finer appreciation for art. So I hope that you all appreciate what you've received here at Henry Clay, and I hope you will continue. I know you're all going off to bigger places. I'm not going to say better, but bigger, probably. And I hope you keep gaining that knowledge, but I also hope you seek to attain wisdom. And I think there's a distinct difference. I've known a lot of knowledgeable people that weren't that wise. And I've known a lot of very wise people that didn't have a lot of knowledge just because of opportunity. But get that wisdom to go along with your knowledge. Use it to guide you. It'll help you in making decisions. And when you find yourself in a tough spot, the wiser you are, the easier it will be to get out of it. So keep growing. Please keep in touch with us always. As an educator, one of the greatest gifts we receive is being able to watch you continue to grow, to become successful and happy adults. Friend us on Facebook after you graduate so we can see you through college, and if you're fortunate enough to settle down and have a child or two, we like to watch those babies grow up just like we've watched you the past 4 years. It really is special to get to be with you. I hope you realize that. I know we go 100 miles an hour in this school. There's a lot of you. And sometimes, because of the nature of the business, it may seem like that we have overlooked you guys because you come here and you take care of business. But again, I go back to what I said earlier. We value your hard work and your dedication more than you will ever know. And please do keep in touch with us. So I'm going to pass it along. Who's next? Back to you. But thanks for everything, boys and girls, and parents.
All right, every year we ask our graduating seniors to nominate two of their classmates that they would like to hear speak this evening. And this year our first student speaker is Braden Bowen.
When I was first asked to give one of the speeches at the 2017 Academy graduation ceremony, I was taken aback. Really. I was planning on not drawing too much attention to myself, getting my medallion, and going home and beaming with pride and joy that this whole thing is finally over. Turns out, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is take a trip down memory lane with all of you. And by the way, let me tell you, every English teacher in this entire room just mumbled under their breath, "Oh, that's a cliche." You know what? I think just this once, they're going to give me a pass. Remember that one time? Would have been about August 13th, 2013, around 9:30 p.m., when your heart stopped beating unceremoniously and dropped into your stomach, and you realized with frightening severity that everything is about to change. The comfort and familiarity of the life that you had come to call home would be torn away, and you would be a freshman. Remember that one time? Would have been around September or October of 2013 when you garnered a bit of wisdom to realize that maybe you shouldn't be so loud in the hallways, and maybe you should do all of your homework, and maybe your mama jokes weren't ever that funny. And then you realize that your whole 8th grade comedy routine is ruined, and you have to come up with a new way to pay for college. It's okay, you've got time. Remember that one time around January or February of 2014 when you thought to yourself, "I've got this. I get it. I know what's going on." Remember that one time, 9 or 10 months later, when you thought to yourself, "I don't got this. I have no idea what's happening." Remember that one time, sometime around early April of 2016, when you got your ACT scores back? They were good, but they could have been better. Now, I'm sure some of you in this room are going, "Well, I got a 36, so I really couldn't have done any better." You're just mad because you didn't get 39 9 like some of the Dunbar kids. That's all I'm saying. That tiny voice inside of you is the reason you're here tonight. That drive, that desire to do something bigger and better and more impactful is the reason you've pushed through hard times, worked long and arduous hours, and done everything you can to keep your head above the fray. And you can't forget that one time a couple of weeks after that when you thought to yourself, if I hear the word AP one more time, I'm going to scream. Me too. Do you remember that one time when someone told you that senior year would be a breeze? Liars. Liars. Remember that one time, right now, when you realized that all of that was worth it? I mean, really, you can watch any Tim Burton movie and analyze every motif in that thing like that. You can precipitate dimethyl sodium fluoride on the go. You can discuss the historical significance of Nixon's vice president's secretary's third cousin's favorite color. You can read any poem and be able to say the iceberg represents death, and the pink flowers represent. You know what? Let's move on. Don't. In all seriousness, you have the skills to succeed in life. Over the past 4 years, all of you have developed valuable skills that put you at a distinct advantage over the competition. And while knowing all about that iceberg is important, these core skills truly prepare you for life. You know how to write a killer thesis. You know how to work cooperatively. You know how to work under a deadline and under stress. And you know what not sleeping for 3 days looks like. And if you don't, it looks like this. A common misconception is that high school is the greatest 4 years of your life. In truth, high school is the greatest springboard of your life. Here you have developed deep, lasting relationships, made new connections, and planned out a grand and excellent adventure for yourself. Every step of your journey, every waking second that you labored and persevered and overcame has prepared you for this moment. And that's why you're all here. You have a passion for learning, working hard, and growing as a student and as a person. You've been successful in your high school endeavors, and you are now looking towards the future. Tonight, this room contains our country's future politicians, lawyers, actors, artists, and doctors, and your dedication has allowed a sense of purpose to flourish within you. You have the memories, you have the skills, and you have way too much knowledge of obscure world history. Thank you.
Thank you, Braden. Our next student speaker is Young Kim.
So I guess I wasn't as prepared as everyone else, and my eyes will suffer a little more because I have a phone with me. But some advice I guess I have for our graduating class. The first time I stepped into Henry Clay's hallways, I was already lost. I had never attended a school with a football field, let alone thousands of students. The first 2 weeks of school, I made it a point to exit my classroom, choose a random direction, and hope for the best, and a friendly teacher who would flag down my desperate expression and help me find my next classroom. This culture shock was even worse. This was my first time experiencing the bliss of clothes dryers and actual lockers, and it was definitely not like Mean Girls. I have watched that movie for those of you who are wondering. But spilling my chemistry big lab sample 3 times and breaking 2 JRATS test tubes, and being jointly horrified and fascinated by Setha's actions in Beloved, those are memories that no one can erase. Memories that are important because, cheese alert, because of you guys. I know, I'm sorry. You're about to receive the fruit of your labors, the golden apple that many a foreign language class has been braved for, the motivation that you had to muster for your mentoring project despite the quicksand of senior year. This medallion, in all honesty, will likely hang as a well-earned trophy in your childhood home in the wake of your bigger dreams. But perhaps unknowingly, each of you have put a new dimension on my experience here, helped me become the person that I never believed that I could ever be. And that's a present that will last. I want to say thank you for the moments of intellectual communion and jousting, the wholehearted acceptance despite our differences. I am indebted to you. You have taught me how to be brave about my ideas and my uncertainties and certainties. And as our buddy Oscar Wilde once said, I am not young enough to know everything. We often think that we're invincible, that nothing can touch the bodies that somehow still function after finishing a project and going to school on 2 hours of sleep. Rather, we should be aware of how little we know, which is everything we need to know, whether it be about ourselves or about the world around us. It is when we are as wise as Socrates that we have the bravery to face our utter failures and yet gladly accept them in the name of improvement. It's then when we have the bravery to hold to the convictions that we have tried and tested. In the name of childlike inquiry, why? Why is this important? Why are you even listening to me right now? Because you're going into adulthood. One of the scariest transitions I think there is. You're leaving a lot of things behind, whether you're staying in Kentucky or you're not. You're becoming an adult, someone with autonomy, whatever that means, and the power to define what freedom means as well. You're leaving the roots of people who you grew up with, the roots of your parents. You're going out there to create yourself. It's casual. It's an assignment that's worth as many points as you decide. You're the teacher and the student now. Life is about losing and then finding yourself again, breaking and then creating yourself once more. The more pieces and the more pixels, the more high definition an image becomes. So change and the growing pains that are associated with them, we all read our freshman letters and watched Mr. Davis's videos. They help clearly define who you want to be. And it takes bravery to be willing to take control of that. Even in going to Academy seminar at 7:30 a.m. on a dark Wednesday morning, or resisting the urge to shred our A-push note cards, we are making choices to persevere. Sorry, Mr. Kane. Here's Oscar Wilde again. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. It's true, I'll admit it. Senior year, I didn't really have a life. But that's another lesson that I've learned, to be brave enough not to be defined by my academics. Living means taking risks, finding satisfaction in things that are important and worthwhile. There are many people who look to us for a better future, who rely on this very generation to do things better, to do things right. How to do this? Our parents can get on us for thinking that we already know everything. And while we should retain parts of our childhood and tightly grasp our joy in the small things and hold on to our sureness in the future, it's even more important to let go of our childhood arrogance. It's brave to know your own boundaries and exactly how to stretch them. Dr. Seuss, with his questionable breakfast choices, is still the authority on retaining that younger kind of mindset. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. So be brave and go for it. I'm so proud of being part of the class of 2017. Congratulations.
Thank you. We also ask our students to select one faculty member that they would like to hear speak this evening, and this year's selection was Mr. Aaron Kane, the A-push teacher whose cards they want to shred.
Good evening, seniors, parents, teachers, and other guests. As some of you may know, my name is Aaron Kane, and I had the honor of teaching AP US History, affectionately nicknamed A-Push, to this fine collection of young people during their junior year. When I was informed by Ms. Stevens the seniors had asked me to speak tonight, I feel very honored and hope to explain a little bit about what this class has meant to me and offer as much wisdom as someone who still gets ID'd at R-rated movies can offer. In the spring of 2015, as my second year of teaching was coming to a close, I was approached about teaching the Academy AP U.S. History classes. I have to admit, I was initially nervous. The then Academy AP U.S. teacher, Mr. Pope, was a legend among mortals and has ascended to rarefied air in Henry Clay lore. I held him, and still do, in immense regard, and I was worried I would not be able to follow such a respected faculty member. The other stories of grade-obsessed students and helicopter parents, combined with the fact that, as Ms. Cabell fondly notes, I am 5 minutes older than the students, made me uncertain about tackling this challenge. These doubts, however, were quickly resolved in the first week of classes when I met these extraordinary young men and women. Our school year together was filled with memories that I will forever cherish. We laughed together, we studied together, and pushed each other to be better versions of ourselves. You all demonstrated an academic focus from the start that allowed for lively discussions and valuable analysis of U.S. history. But you all also knew how to keep things fun. From episodes of Video Mondays to Fifth Hour's Friday tradition of playing Heads Up 7-Up to Super Smash Brothers tournaments during finals week, to the unyielding torrent of B-Club and Walther puns, you made me smile and laugh the entire year. When I received your AP exam scores after our year together, I was truly inspired and knew our year together had been worthwhile. Even though I do not have any of you in class this year, I am constantly reminded of your generosity when I sit at my desk in the office chair and pair of George Washington socks I was graciously gifted, and I see the pictures of your class on my wall. Despite there being a Richard Nixon apologist among you, I am so very proud of the character you all continue to demonstrate. You taught me what it means to truly love to teach, and for that, I will always be grateful and will remember my first Academy class. As you all venture out beyond the walls of Henry Clay High School, across the country and globe, keep this high character that defines you, and maintain your dedication to becoming a better version of yourself. With this in mind, you will be able to accomplish anything you set out for yourself and overcome any obstacle. After you leave these walls, should you ever return to the vicinity of 2100 Fontaine Road, just remember my only request: holla at a playa when you see him in the hood.
Now begin the awarding of the Academy Medallions. So, Mr. Kane, would you assist? All right, for those of you who missed my announcements as you came in, we're going to call you all in alphabetical order, and you're going to come down here and get your medallion from Mr. Kane, and then we're going to fill in the risers however you so choose so we can take our Class of 2017 photo. All right? All right. Isabel Banderoff, University of Richmond. Braden Bowen, Wittenberg University. First, you all. Thank you. No, I just don't wobble. Okay. I apologize. All right. Rachel Bragg, Western Kentucky University. Harrison Broyles, Furman University. Catherine Carling, University of Virginia. Bethany Chambers, Vanderbilt University. Tabitha Kaufman, University of Kentucky. Cameron Combs, University of Kentucky. Annie Dietz, Berry College. Clara McKinley, University of Oklahoma. Lauren McNair, University of Kentucky. Eliane Ogden, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Viviana Ortiz Guerrera, University of Kentucky. Spencer Parsons, Southern Methodist University. Hannah Price, Howard University. Gloria Pulley, University of Montana. Hope Reed, Western Kentucky University. Rachel Roberts, University of Kentucky. Tyler Rosenkrantz, University of Kentucky. Emily Sanford, University of Kentucky. Brian Sato, University of Kentucky. Mason Saunders, Center College. Will Shapiro, University of Kentucky. Anya Slepian, Swarthmore College. Brooke Spears, University of Kentucky. Emily Spivey, University of Kentucky. Lauren Spivey, University of Kentucky. Jordan Strange, University of Alabama. Jessica Sunenberg, University of Charleston. Noah Tapp, Washington and Lee University.
Oh, yeah!
Matthew Telfer, University of South Carolina. Andrew Thompson, University of Louisville. Catherine Van Tatenhove, Baylor University. Henry Walther, Tulane University. Thomas Warner, University of Cincinnati. Lucy Whitman Sandmeyer, who is in Peru, will be at Pomona College. And Sydney Young, University of Kentucky. All right, we're going to ask you all to stand here for a few minutes so that your family and friends can take photographs of the class of 2017. our class of 2017.